Hey beautiful! Today we're going to be making flaky and buttery, better than the store, strawberry Pop-Tarts that I'm absolutely obsessed with. So let's get started. In a large bowl, add in the all-purpose flour. Then add in the salt and the sugar, and then whisk these ingredients together. Now add the cold cubed butter and rub it in with your fingers or a pastry cutter. And the colder the butter is, the flakier the pastry will be. So I froze the butter for an hour before making the pastry, and your end result should look like coarse breadcrumbs like this. And our final ingredients for this pastry are milk and 1 egg. So once you've added those ingredients in, use a spoon or a whisk and just mix these ingredients together. Now go in with your hands and knead the dough for about 5 to 7 minutes. You can find the full recipe in the description box below, along with some other fun flavor variations in case you're not a fan of strawberry Pop-Tarts. Transfer the dough to a lightly floured surface and knead again for a few more minutes or until the ingredients come together to form a cohesive dough like this. And while you're working with the dough, you're going to realize that it's very crumbly, and so it's not going to be the most easy to work with yet, which is why we need to chill it for a little bit before we roll it out. So take your knife and divide the dough into 2 parts and wrap each part with plastic wrap and chill in the fridge for about 30 minutes. And once we remove it from the fridge, the dough is going to be much easier to handle. After the dough has been chilled, remove from the fridge and allow it to rest for about 20 minutes at room temperature. Then take it out of the plastic wrap and roll the dough out into a 1/4 inch sheet on a lightly floured surface. This dough is really soft and really easy to roll out. Now take a knife and cut the pastry into 16 3x4 inch rectangles. I'm using a ruler to get precise measurements, which is what I would recommend so that you get even, beautiful pastries. And you can use the scraps to roll out as many rectangles as you can, but make sure you get an even number of rectangles. You will need 2 rectangles to make 1 Pop-Tart. And repeat this step with all of the dough. Moving on to assembling, take 2 rectangles and brush each one with a little bit of egg wash. And egg wash is just a mixture of egg yolk and 2 tablespoons of milk. Then take a little bit of jam and spread it out on 1 piece of dough, but leave the edges out because we'll need that to seal the filling. Take the other piece of pastry and place on top. Use a fork to seal the edges together and make sure you press down firmly or else the jelly will ooze out and the Pop-Tarts will lose its filling. Finally, use your fork again to poke some holes at the top of the pastry so that the steam can be released and the Pop-Tarts won't explode in the oven. Repeat this step with all of your dough. Bake at 350 Fahrenheit or 180 Celsius for about 30 to 35 minutes or until the tops are golden brown. And I didn't seal my Pop-Tarts correctly, which is why some of the jelly oozed out. So make sure you don't do that. And while our Pop-Tarts are cooling, we're going to move on to the glaze. In a small bowl, add in the powdered sugar, vanilla extract, and milk, and use your spoon to mix these ingredients together. If your glaze is too thick, you can add in some more milk, but our end result should be a really thick, white paste. So once your Pop-Tarts are completely cooled, spread on a thick layer of the glaze on top. And before your glaze hardens, add on some sprinkles. If you wait for the glaze to solidify and then put on the sprinkles, they won't stick. And that's it for this week's recipe. I hope you guys enjoy and I'll see you soon. Bye!